We can measure decisions and actions as full tasks using the SEDA model, which nicely simplifies what people do in the real world. SEDA, although a simplification of human cognitive processing, captures the basic elements needed to guide learning design. We can present learners with realistic situations, require our learners to independently evaluate those situations, prompt learners to make decisions based on their evaluations, and take action based on their decisions. The SEDA model helps us clarify the distinction between decision making and task competence or task performance. This sounds simple, but it may be easier to comprehend the value of SEDA by looking at a few missteps in learning design. If learners aren't given opportunities to practice the actions they would undertake to implement their decisions, we don't make it to Tier 6. Let's say learners are placed in a realistic leadership scenario, are asked to evaluate the situation and make a decision about what actions they will take. Without actually practicing things like what words to say, tone of voice to use, or body language to emanate, we remain at Tier 5. Let's consider those trainings aimed only at creating awareness, covering concepts, or highlighting important principles. We would evaluate learning effectiveness at Tier 4, knowledge. If learners aren't presented with situations in which they could apply that knowledge, then they get no practice in any of the SEDA components. I am not arguing that every learning event must incorporate all four components of SEDA. While that may be ideal, we can also use SEDA to help us keep track of the components we are providing and those we are missing. So let's look at a complete example. If we're teaching people to use Google Slides to create effective presentations, we'd provide access to Google, some content to teach, information about the learners, and specific learning tasks to achieve. Learners would evaluate all the requirements, decide on the design of the slides and the learning flow, then present to their fellow learners. As you can see, evaluating task competence is much more demanding, but also more aligned with real world competence. How might you incorporate the SEDA model, its components, or something similar in your learning designs? Pick a session or meeting you are planning. Design a realistic situation to put learners in relating to your content. This could be a simulation or scenario. How will you prompt learners to evaluate the situation, make a decision about it, and provide structures for learners to practice the actions they will take? This model or components of it may already be present in your sessions. You may just need to make a few tweaks. Submit your reflections and plans for moving forward using the link here.